He's depicted with a long white beard.
Good old David, eh? What
the Charlton Heston version.
He's really done his work.
You go to the Matrix, and you go to the person who created the Matrix, who was known in the Matrix as the architect, who had a white beard. And the Freemasons call their god the Grand Architect, and the Gnostics called what they call the Demiurge, the leader, their version.
So everybody's in the same ballpark.
It's just they call him the Grand or Great Architect. It's all connected and talking to our subconscious all the time. But the point is this, very important. Once you bring this knowledge to the conscious mind, to the awareness of the conscious mind, it loses its impact. This is why when you show someone a subliminal advertisement and they can't see it, and then you point out where the subliminals are, every time they see that advert from that point on, the subliminals they couldn't see are the first things they see, because the conscious mind's been made aware of them. And that's what we're doing with this information. I hope you have a great holiday, Alex, and it's been great talking to you.
Well, I know this. They've certainly taken and laid counterfeits over the entire Bible, and we know that the December 25th is not the date of Christ's birth, any of that. And we know the church steeples are a phallic symbol, all of it. And there we are teaching our children that Santa Claus is real. They arrested a man last month in Canada who was out telling children and their parents that Santa Claus wasn't real. And it just shows that we are all taught to live and believe.
Okay, Alex. Well, Alex Jones, I understand you're 38. Well, I'm 76, which makes me exactly twice your age. So I guess you would have to see me as sort of an uncle, an older uncle, perhaps. I worked at the BBC, worked my way through the BBC. I was brought up, well, shall we say, close to British intelligence. My dad was in it, my grandfather was in it, and pretty much I knew what was going on in the world from a very early age, which of course made me stand somewhat apart from my fellows. And people with information like that generally become one of two things, either show-offs or dead, or outsiders. And to some extent, I guess I've always been an outsider. Doubtless you were, Alex, too, because you're obviously a man. I think representing a generation of men that I'm so proud of. You're my son's age, and you're as outside the box as he is inside the box. And he didn't take the path of freedom that I did when I wanted to be a broadcaster, because it seemed to me the only sort of freedom that there really was left. Unless you had the patience to be a writer, of course, and the oral tradition doesn't really believe in writing, because to some extent it's all been written. It's really a matter of research and then good teachers passing on that good information to young people to work with themselves. And the purpose of this is, of course, is to bring us psychologically to the point where we're truly useful. And then we have to define what use there is. Well, to me, the covenant of that we're all caretakers on the planet, and I've called myself the caretaker movement, with a caretaker philosophy now for, I don't know, a very long time anyway, certainly before 85. So I'm trying to think of the name of the philosopher, philosopher, psychologist, philosopher, and I guess all genuine free-thinking philosophers first go inward before they try to go outward to make sense of the world. And if they can make sense of themselves, then chances are they can make sense of the world. And then I think the responsibility is to pass that information on to others around you in the oral tradition. Tell people, come sit by me, this is what I have to share, and so on. And yes, I'm proud of the choices you've made, Alex. America, where free thinking is even more discouraged than it was in my own country. And certainly when I began to express my views of American foreign policy, the John Wayneism, the bullying, the genocide, all of which I was aware of as quite a small boy, because my grandfather apparently had known Sitting Bull briefly and had conversations. and was aware of all of that. So I came here with a chip on my shoulder as big as the cross itself. Anyway, the idea of the role of honesty, integrity, probity is the word, seeking our conscience, is obviously something that David Icke has done a good job with, and I respect him and his generation as well. So there's a broad span between my generation, those of us who had been through the Second World War, just perhaps as children. Every time we saw a little person that looked like us, we suffered with that child. And having lived with all the cruelty and deception and dirty tricks and lies and so on and so on, and taking our share of it perhaps sometimes, but realizing that true integrity was living with a relationship with the divine. And of course that transcends most people's capacity to think. It helps if you can do a mantra, regular mantra. And the Hare Krishna mantra, which I've used widely and I think usefully, the Maha Mantra, as the Beatles called it, as A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, the teacher of the Maha Mantra, or at least the passing on of the Maha Mantra. It had been known, of course, widely in Bengal before, and it had got people through times when starvation and misery and death were all around them. Now I think we could use it in the joyous sense that it was intended to bring peace to all the nations. Now, I'm a pan-ecumenicalist. I call myself a fluid druid. To me, it's a foundation of a relationship to the divine, which is a very personal one. Everything around me I see is God's creation, and that leaves a job open to me to be a caretaker. Actually, that's what I've been for the past 25 years. I'm not a very good caretaker. If you don't own something, it's difficult to make changes in it. So, unnecessary changes, sometimes vital changes, but you have the freedom to simply live with it. You don't own it, you do take care of it, you do it no harm. And I believe if we got past the concept of private property, or of course that some people can call it Christianity, how about that, Alex? Or communism, of course, or even socialism, which is where individually we are caretakers. It all belongs to everybody. We're making sure it gets properly taken care of. And if our neighbors come out and say, excuse me, you're not taking very good care of that, I say, no, really. And frankly, it is beyond me. I don't know how to take care of this. In which case, they should turn around and say, well, this man needs help. We're all caretakers. In which case, everything would get done. Everything would get done in a voluntary way. Everything would get done in a leisurely way. You say, oh, no, John, you've got to pay people to do things they won't do. No, I gave up earning money in any conventional way way back. Way back, Alex. When I got kicked out of the broadcast game because I blew the whistle on Trudeau in 1972, it didn't bother me too much because by then I saw everything in the perspective that it was God's will. Now, God, I translate it as G-O-D, Grand Order Divine. It's beyond me, but it is divine. It is beauty. It is love. It is harmony. It's gorgeous. And birds fly. Frogs hop. Snakes slither. Everything is beautiful until, we get caught in the oldest trap of all. Ownership, wealth, money, slavery, domination, desire to dominate. David Icke is right. It goes deeper than my thinking. Because I'm a simple man. I'm a fluid druid. We deal only in what is being exposed to us. And now I can see that really if I could remember that psychologist's name, I would be happy to give it to you, because he wrote a book which I really couldn't bring myself to read because I thought it was just going a little bit too far. But I do realize now that God is within us. Each one of us, to some extent, carries the face of God, male and female, slow worm and slug alike. We all carry within us the seed of all knowing, of all seeing, of all awareness. And to the extent that we can open ourselves to those levels of awareness, then we are more and more empowered to direct the quality of life on this planet. I believe hugging trees is a good place to start. I believe we should go out and hug a tree on a regular basis, rain or shine. I think we should look for the sun every day, and more especially we should look for the rainbows. The rainbow was given as a symbol of hope. I understand it has magical properties beyond understanding. I know it has. I say we should look to the rainbow, to the sun, and to Mother Earth for our understandings. We all need to live away from urban settings quite a bit. Population will slowly decline, and we will live out happy. And a new age, which is so bright, so glorious, and so connected to the galaxy, the people will marvel. How much fun you can have with good times. And really, that's what the new age holds for us. So thank you, David Icke. Thank you for bringing the reality to us that we are creator sons and daughters of an energy so powerful and so good that all darkness and all confusion and all idiocy will perish in the face of ultimate goodness. I could be your dad, Alex. I'm not. But yeah, I'm an old guy.